Content contained in this webcast is for informational purposes only. The investments and strategies contained in this webcast may not be suitable for you. Please consult your own independent financial advisor before making any investment or trading decisions. Well, Dennis, besides Apple Computer, we got a few other market movers here, and I don't know. Let's start with Guess.
Yeah, I guess came out there after the bell with earnings not good at all. Joel, the stock is trading down over $4 now, 32.52 after closing at 36.70. So they're very disappointed with the results here. Stock, I would have said, could have possibly looked like it would have some support down here in this 33.83 area where we had a couple of lows there earlier this month, but we've sliced through that area. Now I'd say if you look 32, if you go to the beginning of February, we had 3 highs in that 32 area, so maybe 32 provides some support. But I mean, when you got a stock down $4, it's really hard to find support. Major support at 30, where this old resistance level was, but that's $2.50 away, so I don't know if that comes into play. What do you think on Guess?
Guess is as good as mine, Dennis, but 3180 is where we hit in the pre-market. That bumps right into that 32 support level where we broke out, filled the gap. So I'll be using 3280 down, 3180 up to 32 as major support. Since we've hit that level, Dennis, we've been as high as 33, but we've kind of just consolidated here in the 32.52 area. So I'd use 3180 to 30. And I imagine any kind of a rally near 33 will be met with some resistance.
Capital One Financial, which is COF, announced a secondary offering after the bell. I think this one took everyone by surprise because stock had obviously been breaking out. They just announced it just to finance one of their acquisitions, one of their smaller acquisitions there. So the stock isn't getting beat up too bad. It's down 30 cents, trading at $52. But this stock had been in full breakout mode here over this $50 area yesterday. Nice 2-day move where we bounced, and then we really bounced higher yesterday, being up $1.38 on the day. But we're pulling back a bit here this morning. What do you think, Joel?
Well, the panic selling came to a crescendo at 51.02 and then immediately rebounded to the 52.5 area. Since then, we've been consolidating between 51.60 and 50. Since you're this close to the close area, Dennis, I would use the close as resistance. Coming back on the downside, a lot of consolidation here at the 51.50 level. I use that as support, and 50.71, yesterday's low, is major support. If they can really shrug this off, perhaps we get a test back at the 53 level. But you look at it, Dennis, I mean, your stock price is up, making new highs. Why not do a secondary? How much are you going to hurt the stock?
Here's one we haven't covered for a while. They're FCX, Freeport McMoran. They came out today updating on their Grasberg operations. The stock FCX here has been really weak here, Joel. The stock's been pulling back here for the last month and a half. It's getting a little lift this morning, though, 38.55 after closing at 38.12. So you could say maybe that we possibly had a nice little double bottom there at that 37.80 area. Now we're starting to lift off there through 37.80. I don't think I'd want to own it because there is a gap back there if you look back from 38 down to 36 or 37.18. So this could break down. If this broke down below 38, could break down pretty quick. But what do you think on FCX, Joel?
This one might fly under the radar because it's not a real high flyer. What I think our traders should take note of here is it's only topped out at 38.60 in the pre-market, so this has not been a huge lift. But you do have 3 highs between 39.09 and 39.49, so let's use the highest of those highs as major resistance. But if we could take out that 39.49, Dennis, this thing's got some run at least to the $40 level. I'll have to see how it acts in the pre-market and see if it can actually clear this 38.60 level with some gusto.
Small little stock, Newcastle Investment Corporation, NCT, for you guys who like to play low price stock. $6.21 is where this closes, trading 679 right now. A 52-week high on this thing, 677, so it's right there trading at its 52-week high. I'll be interested to see if it can open above that area or not. Maybe that puts a lid on it off the hop. They raised their dividend, that's why the stock is trading higher here, Joel. What do you think?
There with you. 665 is where this stock topped out in July. You also had some highs in that area in April and May, but 665 is the number. We will use that as a swing number. If it can hold that, keep going. This thing could be on a roll, perhaps testing 750. Coming back on the downside, if in fact it can't hold this 655 level, perhaps we'll meander down to fill the gap at 632.
VRX or VRA is the stock symbol here. Not bringing up a chart on it, but Vera Bradley is the name of the stock there. 35.13 it's trading at right now after closing at 37.14. They came out, lowered guidance there after the bell, Joel. The stock is getting beat up pretty good here. I'm looking at the chart. 34 looks big to me. If that can hold, maybe it gets a bounce there. What do you think on VRA?
Well, the traders in the pre-market have confirmed your premonition there. 34 and a quarter is where we bottom out in the pre-market. Kind of stair-stepped its way down near the end of the day yesterday. So I'm not exact. Well, that was actually in the after hours. Just kind of stepped its way down, made that low. 34 and a quarter. That really does confirm this $34 level. So that would be major support. On the rebound, Dennis, you've been able to get up to 35.75. So I'd use that 35.75 to 36 as resistance. If in fact it could get through there, yeah, it'll have major resistance at yesterday's low at 36.41.
I think we should talk about these gold and silver because GLD was trading up all morning here. Actually, now it has given back almost all of those gains. It was trading up well over 160. It's trading up only 8 cents right now, 159.70 or 68 after closing 159.65. So up only a few cents here now, Joel. Obviously gold's been breaking down here the last couple of days. This chart looks broken to me. I think you got to sell rallies in this now, at least from a short-term perspective. What do you think on GLD?
Wow, Dennis, you've had a run from 148 to 175 and change, and actually the high of the move was 174. So now you're here kind of in the mid-range, so you really cannot look to buy this thing until it gets down to this 158.80 level. You need it to get down there to hold for a couple days. Gap to fill on the upside, but I mean it's falling off a cliff, Dennis. You can't really touch it yet.
SLV too we should talk about. Obviously those charts look similar. Gold and silver usually do track together. Silver chart looks broken to me too. We started taking out the lows there about a week ago, and now we're starting to break down. That $30 level was huge if we go back a couple of months ago, probably 3 or 4 months ago. I wonder if that $30 level comes into play here again. 30.73 was the low yesterday. If that gets breached for whatever reason, I think this thing could see $30.
Okay, with
SLV, Joel.
No, I got you. Silver is. I was just trying to calculate the 50% retracement here. It's right in the 30 level. 30.73 was yesterday's low. So until you can really start to look at this thing, you're going to need that 30.73 to hold. Perhaps get some consolidation at $31 level. But perhaps let's wait to see what Dennis Gartman has to say, because if he says it's still a buy, then we'll short it, and if he says to get out, then we'll buy it.
Gartman has been getting beat up on his precious metals calls. He was selling gold at the low, buying at the high. I don't know. Gartman's had a rough year. It must have had a rough year here trading some of these precious metals, but he's usually pretty good. But last couple calls he's made haven't been that great, at least the ones that I noticed. Anyways, overall, what I'm seeing today here, Joel, seeing financials a little bit stronger again. Always seeing Apple stronger. Stock's never going to go down again. It's going to go straight to $1,000 and never look back. At least that's what everybody's saying and everybody thinks it's going to do. I don't know when that stock's ever going to fall. So some of your commodities are trading a bit higher too. So you're seeing a little bounce in your financials, a little bounce in your commodities, and continued strength in your tech sector. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to initiate coverage of Apple with a strong buy. I put it on my best conviction ever list. My target is 600, and
My target is 600, and we're a buck away from there.
and my stop is at 499.99.
Good risk return there, Joel. Good
Yeah,
risk return.
that's the way I'm going to trade the Apple today. Here the S&Ps. Looking at the 93.75 level, Dennis, that's a half a point below yesterday's low. We talk about double tops, triple tops all the time. That's the area you have to focus on. Keep an eye on it. If it pops above there and then comes back down, you got to be a little bit cautious. But everything being equal, it sure looks like we might test that 1,400 today. Coming back on the downside, you'll find minor support at settlement and major support at yesterday's low. That's our show for today, folks. We hope we've given you some good information, and we'll be back with you tomorrow.